Alright guys, UFC Medic vs Rodriguez. Here's my early leans and early lock for this card. So we're going to start at the bottom. We got the girls, Marina versus Stephanie. And I think Stephanie's the better fighter here. She looks more skilled. I don't like Marina when she's striking. She leaves her chin up in the air when she throws combinations. I think she could get cracked there. But I'm not touching this fight so far, money line wise. I think the money line is a little bit too wide for Stephanie. Being that this is going to be in Marina's home country, it could be competitive in the striking. Marina does have a kickboxing background. Her striking looks alright. It's just she does leave her chin up in the air sometimes when she throws combinations. So it's a pass for me. I think Stephanie should get the win, but not touching it, because there could be a robbery decision if it's close. Jovan versus Popek. Jovan, I think I'm going to go with him here. He's just so huge, and I think if he can get a hold of Popek and get him to the ground, he probably wins this fight, because once he's on top of you, it's really hard to get him off, and he's very strong, and he's got a good submission game too. So yeah, I'm going to go Jovan here for the pick. No bet so far. I want to probably wait till weigh-ins and see how they size up. Next up, Nina versus Haley. So Nina's a huge favourite. I do think she wins here, but I think the line is too wide to be backing her. I wasn't that impressed with her tape. Her last fight against this 4-1 girl, where she took her to a decision, and the girl she was fighting, like, her striking defense looked trash, and Nina was cracking her with some good overhands, but like, she should really be finishing this girl if she's this big of a favorite. So yeah, I wouldn't be playing the money line. I think it's too wide. I might look at the over 1.5. Hopefully we get a good line for that, because Haley Cowan's coming off a KO loss. Yeah, this Dina girl, I wasn't that impressed with that win. Her grappling does look good. Her jiu-jitsu looks really quite good, but she wasn't able to get the submission either in that fight. She did get the girl in some bad positions, but wasn't able to finish her. So yeah, pass so far. I do think Nina will get the win, but line is a little bit too wide. Rebecca versus Prepelec. I'm confident on Rebecca, and I have got him in my early lock. I think Rebecca's pressure and his grappling is going to cause Kyle a lot of problems. We've seen Kyle doesn't deal with pressure that well. BSD took him down and mauled him, and I think Rebecca can do the same. Also in the Dober fight, when Dober was just sort of going, not going hard, Prepelec was competitive, but as soon as Dober just turned it up, he just destroyed Prepelec. So Rebecca, he's not very patient. He'll come forward and throw bombs, and I think if he wrestles here, he's got a huge advantage on the ground. So yeah, confident on Rebecca. Bogdan versus Bazookia. I am leaning Bogdan here, but I think this is a pretty close fight. Bogdan, his defense is pretty bad, and he has got chinned quite a few times. So I'm not really interested in backing him at this price. I think it could be competitive. Bazooka's boxing isn't too bad, so potentially he could crack Bogdan. But yeah, for a pick, I'll go Bogdan. Next up, Mark Vlogden versus Nikolic. I don't really rate Mark Vlogden, but this Nikolic guy, I don't really like the look of him either. His striking, it's sort of like a karate style, but just the way he has his chin up in the air, yeah, I'm going to go Vlogden here, but I'm definitely not going to bet on him. Just going to pass on this fight. Michael Oliveira versus Oban. So I think Oban is actually a decent fighter. He was looking pretty good up until he got submitted against the Aussie in his last fight. But he did get dropped in the first round, and I think Oliveira is going to be backing him up for sure, and I think Elliott's going to be on the back foot. And I think Elliott really needs to get takedowns here, otherwise he's cooked, because Oliveira's got big power. And I do think Oliveira's going to get the win here. I think he's just too much power on the feet. If he can defend the takedowns, that's the question, because he's only 9-0, and he hasn't been fighting really high-level guys. But I do think he's going to get the win here. I haven't got any bet on him so far. I might just take him by KO, because the money line is quite chalk, and there are those questions about his grappling. So yeah, Oliveira for the pick, no bet so far. Ludovic Klein versus Masayev. I do think Klein's going to win here. He's a very technical striker. He's got pretty solid takedown defense. He did get out grappled by Gamrot, but Gamrot's a really good wrestler. Like, after he misses that first attempt, he just keeps going for it. And I don't think Masayev's as good a wrestler as Gamrot. So yeah, I think Klein by decision is probably the play here. The line is a little bit chalky for Klein. Like, I do think it could be a competitive fight. If Masayev can get takedowns, then he could potentially get the upset. But in the striking, I think Klein is the better striker. So I'll go Klein for the pick, but no bet so far. Milos versus Noah. This is an interesting fight. Milos has been fighting on the dirty boxing, and he looks like a really good striker, tough. This Noah kid looks really good too. Looks like he's got some decent wrestling. I am leaning Noah here. I just think he's a little bit more well-rounded. He could mix in the grappling to get the win here. So I am leaning Noah here, but I'm not really confident on this one. No bet. Kepo versus Obina. I'm going Kepo by KO. Obina's too chinny. Kepo, he's very aggressive, pretty wild in striking. He's got bad grappling, but I don't trust Obina to get takedowns. So yeah, Kepo KO is going to be the play. Kepo is coming from Octagon. I do want to see him at the weigh-ins, how he looks, because I think these Octagon guys, there's not very strict drug testing, so they're all roided up if you have a look at them. So it'll be interesting to see how he looks at weigh-ins. Dusko versus Valentin. Two guys that aren't very good. I'll probably lean Dusko here. He's in his home country, so in a fight where I think both guys aren't great, yeah, we'll lean Dusko to get the win here. Tybura versus Rakic. I'm confident on Rakic here. He's part of the early lock. The early lock is Rakic and Rebecki. That's the early lock, $1.77 odds, and that's my max bet for this whole card, my most confident. So yeah, Rakic. I think his speed on the feet and in the striking is going to cause Tybura a lot of problems. Tybura's getting up there. He looks very slow in the striking. He's a good grappler. His path to victory is going to be getting in the clinch with Rakic and taking him down. But I think Rakic has enough experience in MMA that his takedown defense will hold up. And I like how he circles after he strikes. He'll go, come in, boom, boom, then he'll circle away. So he's not there for Tybura to grab him and take him down. So yeah, I think the speed, the footwork is going to cause Tybura a lot of problems. So I like Rakic in this matchup. He is moving up a weight class, so that could be a risk, but I think his frame, he's a big dude. He's like 6'4", so I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be strong enough. Jan versus Sterling. I mean, you got to lean Sterling because he's the much younger guy and he's making improvements, but you can't really... I wouldn't be laying the chalk on Sterling. He hasn't been that impressive. His last fight against Cutelaba made some stupid decisions, like trying to wrestle when he had a huge striking advantage. So yeah, I'm probably going to have a look at Jan, the handicap, as a bet, because I think Jan could survive to the final bell, and I think he could potentially make it close. if he's able to just keep a striking battle. And so I think Jan potentially could win 1 round, so that's probably going to be my bet for this one, but not going to go heavy on it because Jan is getting old and he could get chinned. Next up, Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. This is a pretty obvious play, just Medic by KO. Like, he's an absolute explosive striker, big power. The problem is he's chinny. So is Daniel Rodriguez live for a KO? Potentially, but Daniel Rodriguez is getting up there in age. You could take the fight to end by KO. It's probably going to be really chalk, but that's a really safe bet. So that could be a good parlay piece, fight to end by KO, or just Medic by KO. So I might take both of those. Maybe Medic by KO as a single bet, and then parlay the fight to end by KO. Both guys aren't really submission threats. I'd be pretty surprised to see a submission, but you never know. So yeah, that's what I like so far. My only bet so far is Alexander Rakic and Rebecca in a parlay. I really like those two. Let me know what you think in the comments, and any bets you're liking early for this weekend.